What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today is just gonna be a simple day in the garage working on the Evo. The last video we ended up replacing the alternator, install R1 concept front brake pads and rotor. They're just like a standard, nothing real crazy. Inner and outer CV boot on the passenger front axle. We got the new JDCustoms wire harness for the ignition coil, and that's pretty much about it as far as I remember. It's been maybe about a week or two, but I did mention on the video on the last one that the turbo coolant feed and return hose are leaking, and also the thermostat switch right there is also leaking. My oil dipstick is broken, so the bracket broke off, so it's holding on by zip ties. And we do have brand new parts from Mitsubishi, so here are all of them that we need to get it replaced on my Evo. Here are the part numbers. If you guys want to pick these up, I'll have it linked down in the description box below. OEM is always the way. And we also got two adjustable hose clamp. We're gonna be taking off the pinch clamp on the turbo coolant feed line. I'm hoping that there's not more stuff that I have to worry about like sooner. Hopefully the car is gonna hold up for a while now. Hopefully there's no other problems that I didn't see. So let's go ahead and get that knocked out. I'm gonna jack up the car. Of course, I'm gonna drain the coolant, save it in the bucket. That way we can reuse it, and then we can just go ahead and start knocking off all pretty much the maintenance stuff. Before I install the brand new oil dipstick, look at the comparison from brand new to 20 years. Huge freaking difference. Brand new dipstick does not come with an O-ring, so we do have our own set of O-ring. Go ahead and put that on and we'll be good. Wow, what a difference, guys. New coolant hose, thermostat switch, oil dipstick tube is in. We got fluid in the coolant system, so let's go ahead and get the car running and bleed the coolant system. I decided to spend some time cleaning the engine bay. Also did remove that on the hood, but look at the difference, guys. It's not a huge difference, but it's a difference for me. This bay has never been clean for like the longest. Some degreaser, water, scrub, also dressed it up. It can be better, but I must say it looks a little bit cleaner. I want to do the engine harness to kind of clean up the wiring. New radiator would be nice too, because this is being discolored. The fan is all rusted. So we just came back home from Import Face Off here in Las Vegas. Today was super windy, a lot of dust flying everywhere. We only stayed there for like a few hours. Good event, just no drags. Me and Jayla bought new shift knobs for our Evo. So I got the carbon fiber shift knob and she got the purple flower in it. Looks pretty cool. This is something that she wanted for a while. First time she's seen one on an Evo and caught her attention. I want to treat myself some accessories on my Evo because I do a lot of work on fixing this car and it never got any upgrade, especially on the interior. They do come with different adapters on thread, so you can actually, if you want to take it out, you can put it on a Honda, Mitsubishi, depending on what thread size it is. If you guys want to pick this up, I'll have it linked down in the description box below. So the one that in my car is actually a graded shift knob, but obviously you can't see because all the dirtiness on my hand and rubbing it on top of the shift knob covered it. So we're gonna go ahead and just replace it. Dang, that looks nice. I think it's finally time to make a little bit changes on the Evo 8, and I thought about this for a while now, and I think I'm gonna do it. It is time to retire the Ferrari style cluster on my Evo 8. We've been rocking this cluster for almost 5 years now, and how I know is because I actually look back into the history when I first purchased it on eBay, and we bought it at April 25th, 2020, literally almost 5 years ago. I really love this cluster, don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with it. Everything works. It's just time to go back to stock now. And to be honest with you guys, the reason why I bought this cluster is because Devin Niemola bought one on his Evo 8. And the first thing when I saw his video and saw that, I fell in love with it. Let me show you guys. Now look how this thing looks with the carbon fiber bezel that came with it. So it is set at blue. You can switch it to green. It does come with its own adjustment light, so you can adjust it dim or bright or however you want it. I have it set where it's at, and I had it tap into the cigarette lighter, so every time you turn on the ignition, it will light up just like that. And of course, we're gonna be leaving the carbon fiber bezel. I think it's gonna look really nice with it. Let's go ahead and pull this out. I will post it out on Instagram. Hopefully I still have it if you guys are watching this video. So if you guys are interested, let me know, or you can also buy it on eBay. I'll have it linked down in the description box below. New cluster is in. Wow. It's so weird, to be honest, to look at this cluster again after 5 years of hiding it. I gotta get used to this, but dang. It's crazy. I like it how with the carbon fiber bezel that we left on, that looks sick. Let's go ahead and tackle the feed line. As you can see, we do still have the stock line, and I struggled this a few years back trying to get this thing out. Some of my Evo fam would know, but trying to break that loose was a pain in the butt. So we do have the right tool to crack that loose. So thankfully for my friend Trevor for letting me borrow his tools, we can hopefully get that out. Finally! We can finally move on and install the upgraded fuel line that we've been trying to do for a few years ago. We do have the -6 AN hoses on each side for the feed and return. We got that 30°. We got the straight. We also have the adapter that goes to the fuel rail and to the fuel line itself right here. We're gonna be running the -6 AN hose. I actually had to do this twice because the first time I cut it was a little bit too short. So thankfully we ordered a 2-feet hose. We got the new feed line complete. So we do have the 30° swivel hose end that is gonna go on the fuel rail side. And then we got the straight hose end that is gonna go on that side. So the 2 adapters, one right there and one on top on the fuel rail. When you're cutting this hose, you wanna make sure that you blow out with compressed air. I just use WD-40, spray it inside the hose, try to blow it out as much as you could. The last thing you wanna do is have that in your fuel system. Let's go ahead and get this thing installed. Then we can install back our intercooler piping and then we'll be good. It is now the next morning, guys. I didn't want to start the car up late at night, so we're gonna start it right now. I did double check the fuel line, make sure they're tight before we start it. Go ahead and start the car and make sure we don't have any fuel leak. There's a few more things that we have to do on the Evo. So we just got brand new auto tie rods that I mentioned on the last video or the other video. And we also have to do the driver's side front axle. The inner boot is leaking. What I like to do first is to spray some WD-40 or any penetrating oil on the nut of the tie rod. As you guys know, these things just get so stuck and seize on. Give it some time to let it sit. Then we can crack the nut, hammer it away, and hopefully it comes out. Spray a little bit in here. Just get it loose, just a little bit. Keep it the same place. Just like that. This side auto tie rod took a little bit longer, but we got it out. Of course, I don't have a torch with me, so using a heat gun helped a little bit. Apply some more WD-40, let it soak for a bit, hammered it, and she's out. Here are the Master Pro auto tie rods. You can get these on O'Reilly. And one thing I noticed off the bat is that there's two different tone colors. This one's darker than the other, which doesn't really matter honestly. But when you take a look at the design, you can see here to here and here to here. This one's a little bit shorter. I don't think it matters, but the boot is a little bit, you should say, a little bit bigger than this one. They are the same part number. It's the same thing that we installed on Jalen's Evo. They're like maybe under 40 bucks. On a budget, you should say, but they do come with these style nuts. Collar pins, they do come with these nuts. We're not using them. These nut is a little bit thin than the one that's on the inner tie rod, so we're not going to use it. Before we go ahead and install the auto tie rods, I'm going to apply some anti-seize on the inner tie rods right on the thread. Then we can screw those on, lock those in, and we'll be good. This will make life easier when it comes to alignment, so that way we can adjust the tie rods or the toe without having to worry about trying to break it loose. Auto tie rods are installed. Now I did notice that it was a little bit short on the thread, but once we got it tightened, it's all going in. Okay, up next we have to remove the pin. 32 mil socket goes in, zap that off, and we're gonna be taking out the lower control arm, pop that guy out, and we can go ahead and swap the CV boots out. Here is the axle. First thing that we're going to do is to remove these two clamps. Then we can slide this joint out. There is a C-clip that you have to remove to order to slide the bearing out from the shaft. Remove the two clamps, slide this boot off. Then we can install the new CV boots. It comes with new grease, clips, clamps from the brand MP. This is what we ran on Jalen's Evo and of course on my Evo on the passenger side. So now the driver's side is going to get a refresh axle with new boots and grease. Took my Evo on the drive after we did the CV boots and the tie rods. Of course the alignment is off, but we got a bigger problem now. So we took my Evo to go to our niece's birthday party, took my wife to work, drove home. I noticed a sweet smell and I thought it wasn't my car, but I noticed after my temperature was rising a little bit. As you guys can see, my hood dump's not there, right? And would you look at that, radiator is leaking, and the only reason because this guy over here broke off and it was just rubbing against on the radiator, causing to leak. This thing was eventually gonna break off. You could just see the crack right there, the crack right in there. I think it's finally time to retire this hood dump, and possible might have to get a new one. Problem is now I'm gonna have to spend more money to get this car fixed. And I'll be honest with you guys, the auto tie rods on the CV boot and the tires was gonna be the last thing that I'm hoping that will be a fix for a while now, so I can go ahead and start focusing on like getting accessory stuff like wheels. I didn't want to worry about horsepower wise. Like I kind of thought about it over time, and I want to enjoy the car a little bit more, just give it more love, make it look clean, you know, upgrade some stuff here and there. But now we just have more problems to fix. It's like one problem after another, man. It happens for a reason. That hood exit, I believe my friend had it back in 2018, 2019, I think. It's been a long time ago. That brand is Under Pressure Performance, I believe. I took my hood to my friend guys, Benny and Kev, to get it re-welded, and it hold for a while, like maybe 2 years, and then it just cracked. I'm gonna go ahead with my friend here locally in Las Vegas, see if it's possible to even weld this piece back on. If it's not possible, then it is what it is. I would have to force myself to get a replacement one regardless. Just did a quick string alignment. Now the front toes is in spec, you should say. Strings are touching the tires on both sides. Of course, we're not gonna be running like this for a long time. This is just temporary. As soon as we can get the radiator fixed and also either replace or redo the hood dump, then we can drive the car to my workplace, put it on an alignment machine, and get it in proper spec. No time to waste. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull the whole turbo kit off. I already hit up my friend Dominic. He's gonna go ahead and take care of the hood dump, get it all welded, so that way we can go ahead and drop it off tomorrow. Today is Sunday, and daylight saving started today, so it's 3 hours difference. Right now it's about 7 o'clock, and this time difference is kind of throwing me off a little bit, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take all this out, so that way we can just get it over with. So right now it's 7:22, so maybe about 30-45 minutes, if everything goes smooth, we'll get the whole turbo kit out, separate the hood dump from the turbo, and then yeah, let's go ahead and get some work done, guys. The whole turbo kit manifold is out. We're about 7:55 p.m. Not too bad, other than just the minimal tools that I have here that I brought from work and have at home. But this is how it looks, guys. Bam. So tomorrow morning we're gonna go ahead and drop off the hood dump to my friend Dom. He's gonna get that welded, all taken care of. At the meantime, once we get that back, sometime this week, I'll go ahead and order a new radiator. Probably do a slim fan at the same time too. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Not how I wanted to plan things out, but it is what it is. It happens for a reason. Aloha. I'll see you guys on the next one.